You may be seated. Welcome back. Mr. Levine.
Your Honor, the state will call Corporal Joella Moore with the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office.
Step right here, raise your right hand and record for you.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes.
That is what you Slip the step and have a signature.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Corporal Moore, good afternoon. Could you please introduce yourself to the jury and spell your name for the record?
I'm Corporal Joella Moore, Joella, last name Moore.
And how long have you been employed in law enforcement?
I've been in law enforcement 24 years. I've been with Charlotte County Sheriff's Office a little shy of 23 years.
And what are some of the different units that you've worked in law enforcement?
I worked in corrections as a correction deputy. I worked road patrol. I was a school resource officer. I worked our street crimes unit. Then I was promoted, and I went back to road patrol. Currently, I'm a corporal over our juvenile unit, and I also worked intel as a juvenile intervention detective.
So tell the jury a little bit about your kind of specialty or specialized knowledge about interacting with juveniles as it pertains to criminal justice system and in life in general.
So the majority of my adult life has been working with at-risk kids. Prior to law enforcement, I worked in Oregon under the Special Education Department, working with at-risk kids, severely emotionally disturbed, ages 13 to 18. I moved here to Florida to take care of my grandparents and came into law enforcement, quickly ended up as a school resource officer. Like I had said, did that for the majority of my career at Charlotte County. And then went to the Juvenile Intervention Detective, which works with the most at-risk kids. And currently now I'm back overseeing the juvenile unit where I started.
Now, how was it that you first became acquainted with Collin Griffith and his mom, Kathy Griffith?
We were in a transition as I got promoted to the juvenile from the juvenile intervention detective position to corporal for road patrol. I worked with our new juvenile intervention detective, Detective Zanioni, and Corporal Rentis, so we were still in the transition of they would ask me questions about kids and some resources that we have that they may not have had knowledge to, and Collin came up in that.
Did the defendant appear to be comfortable talking to you and to Lacey and Rentis?
Yes.
Now, did you have an opportunity to respond to the Griffith household in Port Charlotte November 13th of 2023?
Yes,
in
sir.
relationship to the domestic violence battery investigation?
Yes, sir.
Now, did you and your fellow deputies have Bodycam footage? Or, excuse me, Bodycam on so that it produced footage?
Yes, sir.
And is one of the deputies that also responded with you at different times Deputy Jankowski?
Yes, sir. I was his supervisor.
And I understand he has a SUV, is that correct? Or he did back when this happened, a law enforcement vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And in the back, is there something called an in-car camera?
Yes, sir.
And does that basically record video and audio of whoever's in the back seat of a car?
Yes, sir.
And on the specific date, November 13th, including 10:26 p.m. of November 13th, 2023, as well as after midnight, November 14th, 2023 at 2 a.m., and thereafter, would Deputy Jankowski's in-car camera just be continuously running?
They're activated when we turn them on, or they can be activated. All of our body cameras will be activated if our firearms are pulled, if our tasers are utilized, or in that general facility, if another officer's equipment has been pulled. That way we can capture everything. So we have these automatic safeguards that'll signal the activation of our cameras, the lights on our patrol car. Right, if we turn our lights on, they automatically kick in, or we can manually turn them on.
At some point during the night, was the defendant arrested for TV battery on his mom?
Yes, sir.
And at some point during the night, was he put in the back of Jankowski's vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And did Jankowski's in-car video capture the defendant talking in the backseat of the car?
Yes, sir.
Now, there's been a name mentioned, Corporal Rentis, who's now Sergeant Rentis. What was his relationship to the defendant?
He had a close relationship with the defendant and the family, and would frequently speak to him or have communications if they were having trouble to try to resolve or give resources to the family.
And on the in-car camera, is the defendant have access to a cell phone on his lap?
Yes, sir.
And describe to the jury how that came about.
I had received a phone call from Corporal Rentis, who was actively on the phone with the defendant. Rentis had told me that there was some type of disturbance over at the house. So I responded over there, notified Central that I had just received a phone call from Corporal Rentis. At the time, he's since been promoted. I'll refer to him as Corporal Rentis so it doesn't get confusing. And so we responded over there, and Corporal Rentis maintained phone contact with Colton.
At certain times, would you appear at the side of Jankowski's SUV and interact with the defendant?
Yes, sir. So whenever we have a person in the back of our patrol car, we monitor them, keep them within ear and eye, so we can hear what's going on and see them in case there's some type of an emergency or if they need assistance. So we don't have to stand necessarily right there all the time, but we have to be able to hear them if they need assistance.
And in terms of the state exhibits 191, 192, and 193, all being in-car videos from Jankowski on November 14th. Actually, it looks like they're all from the early morning hours of November 14th. Have you had an opportunity at some time to watch the in-car camera footage?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, this time the state would move State Exhibit 191, 192, and 193 into evidence.
Any objection?
No objection.
There.
We'll start with 191. And before, as we get that queued up, was there some subject matter in which the defendant was talking about kind of two different personas, Collin One and Collin Two?
Yes, sir.
I'll say it to you like this, if you want to know. Collin One is, I guess, he's who just wants to survive, help people, and do good things in the world. And Collin Two is the one that protects Collin One in situations where he can't escape from. And Collin Two is the one that killed someone. But you're talking to Collin One. You're talking to Collin One. The one who just wants to help people and just wants to.
So is that the cell phone that's visible on the defendant's lap?
Yes, sir.
And he's talking to Corporal Rentis?
Yes, sir.
Next we'll segue to 192. Oh, and for the record, that was, if you could turn that back on, John. Thank you. so we can see the time and the date.
Rentis,
So that clip appears to be from November 14th, 2023 at 1:59 a.m. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. The state will next publish 192.
I need to figure out exactly what you're scared of without having you be scripted and you giving me some sense of stuff.
scared of going back in there, Rentis. Jesus, how many times do I gotta say it? That's all I'm scared of. That's it.
I'm fucking scared of that call.
Yes, I am, Rentis, because what's it gonna come down to next time?
Colin, I don't think you're a pussy. I think that you are capable of killing your mother, but I don't think that you will.
No, why would I?
How would I let you get to that? Do you think Collin won't let you get to that? I can't hear you, sorry. But why Collin? You're strong individual. Why would you submit in a roundabout way to Collin? So when we talk about
It's the strongest version of me.
Did you hear Corporal Moore, the defendant, saying, yeah, he would, as it pertains to Collin One, allowing him to kill his mom?
I did, sir.
And that is on November 14th, 2023 at about 2:21 in the morning.
Yes, sir.
And for the final clip will be State Exhibit 193.
I don't know how I'm gonna react when she does that again. If I can control myself, or how that's gonna happen.
What do you think you might do to her
If she tries to hit me again, I might hit her back really, really hardly and badly.
You got hurt?
Yeah.
For the record, that was not November 14th, 2023 at 3:22 a.m.
Yes, sir.
So at the end of that investigation, is it a fair statement the defendant was arrested?
Yes, sir.
Corporal Moore, I don't have any further questions for you.
Cross?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Corporal Moore, every time that Collin said, either in your presence or on the camera footage that you've reviewed, that he might hurt his mom or he was afraid he would hurt his mom, He prefaced that statement by saying, if she hits me, or if she comes at me, or if she attacks me, I'm afraid I'll hurt her. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So he never said, I just want to kill my mom for no reason whatsoever.
No, ma'am.
Don't think I have any other questions. Oh, Collin told you that night that his mom had punched him before he threw her on the ground, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Redirect.
Nothing further.
Is the witness released?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next witness.
Your Honor, the state calls Deputy Joseph Jankowski of the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office.